Hello, everyone. It's Darlene. I am so glad to finally be on. This has been an interesting time trying to get on. But anyway, I want to quickly go over some things. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Lots of things have been happening in the world. At the end of the year, I usually take the time to reflect on things that have occurred. And this time I'm reflecting on a long, long list of things that have occurred to me. Um, I I have actually felt like Job in the Bible. And for those of you who don't know who Job is, Job was someone who was blessed, had everything, had a family, had material things, and he loved the Lord, and it was evident in his life. He prayed for his family, he prayed for his friends, and one day, the devil came to God, and he said, um, he was looking around the earth, um, and actually, God said to him, "Have you considered my servant Job?" Which many of us would probably say, "Why? Why would God even say, have you considered someone?" And the reason for it was probably because had it been anyone else, they probably would not have passed what Job went through. In one day, he basically lost everything. He lost his family, he lost his material things. He had his wife still, but she was nagging him. She was nagging him about, why don't you curse God and die? I'm just paraphrasing the story. Why don't you curse God and die? And Job made the comment, naked I came into the world, and this is to the effect of what it was, and naked I will go out of the world. Um, and don't get me wrong, he was so realistically thinking about all the things that happened, but he did not let them weigh him down. Yes, he suffered. He felt the suffering. He was not Superman. He was very aware of everything that happened. And when I say weigh him down, he did not lose hope. He believed that just like all this happened, that God would take him through it. Yes, he asked. He said it would have been better if I had not been born, but he never cursed God. So, as I was reflecting over the last couple of years, like I'm sure many of you have been doing, you know, since the pandemic of coronavirus has occurred, we thought that 2020 was going to be the end of it. And here we are at the end of 2021, and it's still lingering around. So, as I reflected on the things that I have gone through, I could have chosen to become bitter because the list is long. And I'm going to go through it because I think sometimes you need to know what someone has gone through and yet they're still here. So I'm quickly going to go through and I wrote them down just to give you a better idea. So in January of 2020, after being off work, out of work by choice for a year, I returned back to work. And it's also in January 2020 when we in the United States had our first confirmed case of COVID. Okay, April of 2020, on my way to work at 7:30 in the morning, I was hit by a driver under the influence of drugs. And when I say hit, I was driving 55 miles an hour. I don't know what he was driving. He crossed the midline and hit me head on. It should have taken me out of here, but God. Now, does that mean I have no consequences of the accident? No, I have lots of consequences. In October of 2020, I experienced the death of one of my fur babies that I raised from 4 weeks of age, and she would have been 13 in a few months, the January of 2021. And that was a hard loss for me. In August of 2021, um, I again, leaving work this time at 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the evening, was rear-ended by a 17-year-old. And the craziest thing of that is I was parked at a gas station. Why was he not paying attention? Okay. I was hit, rear-ended, parked at a gas station. In a few days after that, that was on a Friday. A week later, on Thursday, I became infected with COVID and I was sick for at least a good 5 days, like sick as unto death, but did not have to be hospitalized because of God kept me. And just now in December of 2021, I experienced the death of another fur baby. Also, just a few days ago, I found out that my Social Security number was compromised. And this is evident by my job asking why was I applying for unemployment. Somebody had the nerves to use my Social Security number to apply for unemployment. Now, I could say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm tired of all of this. And don't get me wrong, I have said that. But you know what? I've also said I have been um, encouraged by the word of the, the Lord that I remember reading over the years. The word has come back to me and it has encouraged me. It has encouraged my heart not to faint. Also, I have remembered something. I used to be very involved in Relay for Life through the American Cancer Society. And one year I was the team leader for our team. And I'm wearing a shirt that I got from them. I just want to show you the shirt. And the shirt says, "Celebrate, break, remember, fight." Okay. Probably a lot of you remember that slogan. And so, what does that mean to me right now? Well, I have taken the time to look over the things that have occurred to me in 2020 and 2021. And I choose to celebrate that I am still here, that I am still pretty much in my right mind, that I still have movement of my limbs. Yes, I have consequences of being involved in an accident that could have taken my life, but I'm still here. I choose to remember the goodness of the Lord. Okay. I choose not to give in to the things that could be like having survivor guilt. I choose to live my life and to help those who are also going through. If you are still here, even if you've gone through a lot like me, you're here for a reason. You're here to help someone else. You're here to be a blessing to someone else. So I invite you, I motivate you, I want to inspire you to continue to fight. In the description of this video, I have listed some verses from the Bible that are very encouraging. Um, and they remind us of why we should hope. I want to quickly go through those verses and then I'm going to let you go. And the reasons I'm going to go through these verses is the difficulty I had to come before you live tonight And the last several nights, I've tried to give you this presentation, and things have kept me from going live. Even tonight, when I went to go live, it cut off on me. So I know there's a reason that this video is here to bless someone. The first verse, Jeremiah 29 and 11. All these verses will be out of the New International Version. And the first verse says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." No matter what you're going through right now, if you are still here, there is hope and there is a future. Make the best of what you have. Okay? Second verse, Isaiah 40 and chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So, what if your body is getting older? So, what if you're not the same person you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago? You are still here. Walk. That's all. Walk. Somebody needs to see that you're still doing it. The next verse is from Job, and it's chapter 42 and it's verse 12. And it says, "The Lord blessed the latter part of Job's life more than the former part." So everything that Job had that was taken away from him, his family, his possessions, even his health, God gave it back to him. And he gave it back to him more than what he had before. So I'm telling you again, faint not, have hope. If you are still here, it is not over. Okay? It's not over. Now, it doesn't mean that things that you've gone through are going to be just over in a night. They may not be. But don't faint. Continue on. There's more for you. And the last thing I want to say, the verse comes from Ephesians chapter 6, and it's two verses, verses 12 and 13. And I'm going to read these slowly. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, the powers of this dark world, and against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand. Again, don't worry about when COVID's going to end, because you may be disheartened if it continues longer than what it already has, which we see that it's no end in sight. Don't give up. Don't give up. Stand. God has given you the strength, the breath. Stand. If you can't do anything else, stand. But the verse says that you have to be equipped. You have to have the full armor of God. The problem is many of us want to do this in our own strength, and we can't do that. So I'm asking you right now, um, remember where your source and your strength is from. Okay. And if you don't know, find somebody who can help you. Um, it's not too late. 2020, 2021 might be coming to an end, but you're still here. You have hope. Thank you for your time. If you have enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe to my station. If you want to know about when I release new videos, please highlight the bell so that you will be notified of future releases. May you have a beautiful Christmas. May whatever holiday you celebrate this time of the year be beautiful. May you enjoy your loved ones. But most of all, remember that you have hope. And if you can't do anything else, just stand. Thank you.